Good afternoon, everyone. From Indians Field in Biloxi, it's time for area high school baseball action as your Sumrall Bobcats take on the South Panola Tigers. I'm Kelly Sander, along with producer Jeremy Thompson. On a sun-soaked Friday afternoon, a nice breeze, very comfortable afternoon. Game that was scheduled to start at 5, getting started just a little bit early here this afternoon. The Bobcats come in with a 10-1 record. The Tigers come in at 3-2, part of the Bash at the Beach tournament that includes 9 playing locations throughout 9 high schools here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Sumrall comes in as the visiting team in this game. South Panola playing a doubleheader here today. This is game 1 for them, and they will play the host Biloxi Indians, coached by Oak Grove graduate Eddie Lofton, a little bit later on. Let's take a look at the Bobcat starting lineup. Hayden Barrett leads off playing left field. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Hayes Rayner. Marshall Phillips is batting third and playing third. He'll be followed by the winning pitcher from last night's game, Levi Odom. Odom, the cleanup hitter, but he is the DH today. Hayden Norrid is batting fifth and playing first base. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Cade Dito. Ethan Altman draws the catching duties today. He bats seventh. And then rounding out the order for Sumrall, Landon Holloman, the standout shortstop, will bat eighth and play shortstop. And Ty Little will bat ninth and play second base. So again, for Sumrall, it's Barrett, Rayner, Phillips, Odom, Norrid, Dito, Altman, Holloman, and Little. They're going over the ground rules right now here in Biloxi. The starting lineup for South Panola, again, the home team here in this game. Braden Martin leads off playing shortstop. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Dawson Griffin. Maury Boyd, the center fielder, bats third. He'll be followed by John Blockman, the right fielder. The outfielders make up the meat of this order for South Panola, coached by Jake Mills. Michael Johnson, he bats in the 5-hole. Then Jordan McCollins, the DH, he bats sixth. Batting seventh is the catcher, Eli Rains. The second baseman, Eli Russell, bats eighth. And Trey Drumheller, the third baseman, that's a good German last name, Drumheller, he will bat ninth and play third. So for the Tigers, it's Martin, Griffin, Boyd, Blockman, Johnson, McCollins, Rains, Russell, and Drumheller. The pitching matchup, Griffin for the Tigers, and for the Sumrall Bobcats, the left-hander Cross Sibley, who was nursing a little bit of an injury but ready to go here today against a 6A South Panola Tiger team. So glad that you are with us. And already you are getting in on the text line at 601-310-7077. Christy Martin is watching out of Folsom, Louisiana. Probably not too far a drive here from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The Bobcats wearing their road gray uniforms with blue pinstripes. And South Panola looking very sporty in their Ole Miss kind of road Columbia blue trimmed in red and white. This is the last game of the week for the Bobcats. No baseball tomorrow or Sunday for Sumrall after that long tournament last week. And a programming note that next week's games against Columbia and Stringer, we will not have a webcast for those games. Columbia and Stringer, there will be no webcast of the game against the Columbia Wildcats or the Stringer Red Devils. So make plans accordingly. Columbia is a home game at Larry Knight Field. Stringer is on the road. So the Tigers take the field here in Biloxi. 310 down the lines in left and in right, 390 to dead center, 350 in the power alleys as the Bobcats get ready to take to the field here. Sumrall Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's with 2 locations to serve you in Sumrall and Bellevue. Open every morning early with a selection of fresh coffees for you, different flavors. Also, a wide array of fuels for your trucks, automobiles, four-wheelers, whatever you might need to get gassed up. Dandy Dan's, a proud supporter of Sumrall Bobcat athletics throughout the years. Glad to have Dandy Dan's with us Our scoreboard sponsored by Java Mo's, where you don't have to get out of that car for that fresh cup of joe. Just drive through your favorite location at Java Mo's. Southern Miss tonight, beginning a 3-game series with the University of Louisiana, formerly Louisiana Lafayette, formerly Southwestern Louisiana, formerly Ooh La La. They've been named a whole bunch of different things. That first pitch is at 6 o'clock at Pete Taylor Park. We'll be keeping you up to date on that game. Tessa Morales is checking in. She's working at Citizens in Sumrall. Yeah, this early starting time means not as many fans can get to the actual location here in Biloxi, so we know a lot of you will be watching on the Sumrall YouTube channel. So we're glad that you are with us. Finishing his warm-up tosses is Dawson Griffin, the right-hander for South Panola. Righty versus righty as we get ready to go here. Hayden Barrett has been nearly an impossible out. His on-base percentage going into the week was about .635. Again, Barrett among the nation's leader in stolen bases. He's among the nation's leaders in hit by pitch, first pitch swinging, and a ground ball to third. Barrett is out on the 5-3 putout. So we'll talk to you more about his accolades as the game progresses. And here's Hayes Rayner now, the center fielder. Center fielder, Hayes Rayner. We think that Rayner was the recipient. He got a good call last night on a 2-strike pitch. He swung and foul tipped a 3rd strike. The catcher caught it. And rather than ringing him up on a 3rd strike, the umpire said foul ball and just called it a strike 2. Rayner wound up getting out anyway, but here's the 0-1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss. So Rayner in an 0-2 hole now with Marshall Phillips on deck. Wind feels like it's blowing in toward home plate. Changeup is inside. Dawson Griffin on the hill for the Tigers, and the rest of the Tiger defense plays Hayes Rayner straight away. Again, 350 in the power alleys, 390 to dead center. That pitch is off the plate. 1-2 now to the Sumrall center fielder. The outfield has been pretty well stable for Sumrall with Barrett in left, Rayner in center, and Dito in right. Swing and a miss. Rayner out on strikes. So 2 up and 2 down, and here comes Marshall Phillips. Phillips, a 2-sport athlete, has played just about every position on the football field in the fall, and similarly in baseball can play several positions. Swung on, ground ball to third. High throw, but Phillips is tagged, and the Bobcats make it easy for the Tigers here in the top of the 1st inning. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 1st. Cross Sibley takes the hill for the Bobcats, and he will face the Tigers in the bottom of the 1st when we return in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Tigers will send shortstop Braden Martin to the plate. He'll be followed by the pitcher Dawson Griffin hitting for himself, and then Maury Boyd, the center fielder. Boy, a beautiful day here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. A nice breeze, quite comfortable. Again, South Panola, game one of 2 games they'll play here today. This first one against Sumrall, and then they'll play the home team Biloxi Indians later on tonight. On their way down here to the coast, South Panola stopped at Pop Vegas yesterday, Poplarville, and saw the new Dub Herring Park at Pearl River College. So they have made quite a trip of it here, and why not? As long as you're going to travel this far south, might as well take in the sights on your way. So here's Braden Martin going up against the Jones College commit, Cross Sibley. Sibley, again, moved to the Lamar County area from Grenada, up in the northern part of the state, back when he was about 10 years old, and the left-hander delivers strike one. Sibley with those big legs, that power plants, that's where power's delivered as a pitcher, is the bottom half. 0-1 pitch is swung on and lifted out of play. The right side, 0-2. And to be a left-hander that can sit 85 and get up to 89, that's a ticket to the next level. And that bender there, Martin was able to get a piece of, but I think he might have hit his own ankle there with that one. So 0-2. The Sumrall defense has Phillips at third, and the left side of this infield is the sun field. As you see Marshall Phillips there shading his eyes from the sun. So they're looking dead west here. The 0-2 pitch. Lifted again, foul to the right side. So you've got Phillips at third. You've got Holloman at short. Holloman making the most of his opportunities. And I'm probably overplaying Landon Holloman, but I think that kid has got a terrific future. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Tried to get him with the spinner there and missed, 1-2. Little at second, he's a senior, and then Norred at first base. And the outfield, as we talked about before, Barrett in left. Rayner in center, who is shaded way over to right. Breaking ball, again fouled out of play. And then Dido, or as Channel 7 called him the other night, Dido, in right field. 1-2 to Braden Martin, the leadoff batter for South Panola here in the bottom of the first, no score. With Dawson Griffin, the pitcher for Panola, on deck. The 1-2 pitch, again into the screen. And again, this is what you call a good at bat. You don't know whether Martin is going to be out or safe wherever he winds up, but he's making Sibley throw more pitches than necessary, or than usual. And that's a good at bat. Wear the pitcher out a little bit, and you still might win the battle. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, popped up again, foul. So this is already about a, 6 or 7 pitch at bat, and it's still only 1-2. But the fact that he's fouled so many off is really indicative of Sibley. Sibley is never going to miss the strike zone by too far. He is a terrific spot pitcher. 1-2 pitch. That one is fouled. Will it get out of play? It got actually into the Panola dugout. The Tigers are in their den over here in the first base dugout. The Wildcats are caged over here to our left in the third base dugout. 1-2 remains the count to Braden Martin. The pitch. Here's a little floater out toward left. Barrett coming in to make the grab. Hayden Barrett gets a really good jump on the baseball. It's what makes him so valuable out there in left. So here's Dawson Griffin. So Martin was out, but again, he burned a lot of pitches. Lefty versus righty here. The Sumrall outfield has Griffin shaded toward right. Tries to put the bunt down, and that will alert Marshall Phillips at third now to be on the prowl as Griffin tried a push bunt, and that's a bunt for a hit. A sacrifice bunt is when they stand out there and kind of let you know they're going to bunt. That push bunt, they implement the element of surprise. That pitch is a little high on the breaker. 1-1 the count. Cross Sibley, cross spelled with a K. K-R-O-S. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's a grounder to first. And it gets underneath the glove of Norrid. That's going to be an E3. So Griffin is aboard on the boot at first base. Griffin will be lifted for a courtesy runner as he's the pitcher. And here's Maury Boyd. Boyd, the center fielder, prototype center fielder. One away here in the bottom of the first inning, runner on first. You got a 4A powerhouse in Sumrall against 6A South Panola. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Sibley has a terrific move to first base. And the advantage that local teams in the Sumrall, Hattiesburg, Petal area have is they can scout Sibley, so they know about that great move to first. When you've got teams from outside that area, they don't know it as well, as that one is slapped foul. So Boyd in the hole 0-2. In fact, Sibley's last outing, he picked off 2 at first base. So the Tigers should be cautious against the left-hander here. Boyd hitting third in the order for Coach Jake Mills. There's that throw over to first. And not really that big of a lead over there. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, shot foul wide. They're watching in Melby tonight. Splinter's watching tonight. He missed last night's game, but Splinter and Papa are watching. I don't know if they're out on the porch or if they're in the house, but it's always a beautiful night in Melby. Glad that they're with us. 0-2 pitch. That one is shot inside the line at third. That's a fair ball. Rounding second. On the way to third. And Boyd on his way to second. Play at the plate. Throw is off the mark. And the Tigers lead it 1-0 on the double from Boyd. It won't count against Sibley's ERA because that runner that was on was unearned on the air. Mary and Michael Risley are watching from Oak Grove. They're big fans of Levi Odom. Glad to have them along as well. Where are you watching the game from tonight? 601-310-7077. Oh, and Melby, they're listening and watching in the swing tonight as John Blackman takes strike one. So Boyd is at second base. He is credited with an RBI. It's just not an earned run. The ball was just inside the line. The 0-1 tried to nibble the corner but missed outside. 1-1 now. Cross Sibley, who has one sister, Katie. Cross and Katie Sibley. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play to the right side. Boy, John Blackman's a good-looking athlete, too. He looks like he's about 6'3", maybe taller. That's generally, you know, when you have like a 6A school compared to the smaller classifications, more guys to choose from, you know. just bigger populations. Of course, Sumrall has always had a very rich baseball tradition. South Panola, no secret, has been quite a football powerhouse over the years. 1-2 pitch. That one's foul over to the Sumrall dugout. Coach Davis's mom are watching from Smith County. Getting to be watermelon season here pretty soon up there in Smith County. Go Bobcats, say the Davises. Proud of their Coach Davis now, not interim coach, upon approval of the Lamar County School Board. And Andy's done a great job with this team. Here's the 1-2. Thought about the pickoff throw to second, but then against it. Sibley back to work now to face Blockman. He is the cleanup hitter. Here's a chopper towards second. Little has it. His only play is to first. And they retire Blockman, but he advances Boyd to third on the play. So 2 outs. And it'll be up to Michael Johnson, who's another tall drink of water. He's the left fielder.
Michael Johnson.
Sibley to the plate. Outside, ball 1. So the South Panola Tigers, according to the MHSAA, Tigers is the second most popular mascot in the state. The second most popular mascot. What's number 1 and what's number 3? That's outside. According to the MHSAA, Bulldogs is number 1. Bulldogs is the most popular mascot name. Tigers is number 2, and Eagles is number 3. Swing and a miss there. 2-1. Delayed steal of home. Here's the throw to the plate, and he is out at home. Wow, gutsy call. But the Bobcats were equal to the task as Boyd tried the delayed steal of home. Throw went to Sibley, and Sibley right back to the plate. So Michael Johnson will start with a fresh count in the bottom of the second inning. But for the Tigers, they come up with 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and as it turns out, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the second inning. It's the Tigers 1, the Bobcats nothing. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Levi Odom, Hayden Norrid, and Cade Dito will be the Sumrall offerings here in the top of the second inning. Bobcats trailing South Panola 1-0. Dawson Griffin on the hill for the South Panola Tigers. First pitch to Odom is low, ball 1. Levi has that ankle protector on that left ankle. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Major League Baseball going to experiment with some potential rule changes throughout the minor league system. One of the things they're going to experiment with is robotic umpires. Here's the 1-1. That's low, 2-1. Not so much robotic umpires, but with those laser beam, things that'll call a ball and a strike. I'm not sure I like that. Also, a 15-second pitch limit. They'll have to, pitchers get the baseball. They've got 15 seconds to get the next pitch to the plate. 3-1 to Odom. Again, the leadoff hitter here for Sumrall in the top of the second. They're playing Odom straight away. That one's slapped foul to the left side over here. Count is full. Payoff pitch to Odom coming from Griffin. Inside. Actually, it'll go as a hit batsman. Just hit that jersey. And here's Hayden Norred now. Norred committed to Pearl River Community College.
First baseman, Hayden Norrie.
And Norred has been shelled for a couple of weeks with that pinched nerve, but he should be back in the rotation here pretty soon. Norred signing as a pitcher, but can also play the field. Swing and a miss there. He'll be followed by Dito. Again, playing him actually to pull slightly. The 0-1 swung on. Here's a drive toward left center field. That ball is hit but being tracked and caught in left field. Nice play by Michael Johnson, who was moving to his left and back, and that's the Sun Field out there, so a really good effort for Johnson to haul it in for out number 1. And that'll bring up Cade Dito, who walked 3 times last night and scored 3 times. You really like Dito's work ethic because, again, he's a real quiet guy, does his job. You never hear much about him, except when you look at the statistics, he's always in there somewhere. That's a foul tip for strike 1. Odom is at first with 1 away here in the top of the second inning, scheduled for 7. Beautiful day in Biloxi. Always treated with great hospitality here on the coast. Well, at Biloxi High School, not so much at the Beau Rivage. At least they don't treat me very well at the Beau Rivage. I mean, the people are nice, but that's about where it ends. The 0-1 pitch, that's too high. Throw to second base, short arm throw, and Odom is there. That's something that this Sumrall team has done a lot of this year, is base stealing. Not physically a very big team, but they are very, very fast. So Odom is there where a base hit could potentially score him with 1 away. And Dito has a 1-1 count. The pitch. 2-1, just off the plate. Our location is second floor here, just a hair to the right of home plate. Jeremy Thompson's got position A, right behind home plate. Same location, gets away from the catcher, and Odom scampers down to third. So now a sacrifice fly could get him home. He's there with 1 out. And the count has ballooned to 3-1 to Dito, who himself is starting to rack up the bases on balls. The 3-1 pitch, fouled away. Andy Davis at third base. He's in the short sleeve. Steve Cooley down there at first. I said something to Coach Cooley. I said, man, you look like you've dropped a lot of weight. And he said, not really. Haven't noticed I've dropped any weight at all. He said, I appreciate the kind words, but really haven't. Three and 2 to Dito with Ethan Altman on deck. Another foul tip. So Dito spoils that one. Ethan Altman and Ryan Little have done a good job platooning the catcher position, and I think that's going to be so important, excuse me, when you go down the playoff trail. because that catching position can wear you out if you have just one guy. And the temperatures get hotter as the year goes on. Obviously, 3-2 pitch, he missed it upstairs, and Tito milks another walk. So runners on the corner with one away, and here is the aforementioned Ethan Altman.
Catcher, Ethan Altman.
So Altman digs in. The busiest defender for the Tigers has been Drumheller over at third. He's got a couple of putouts tonight. Swing and a miss there. And early on, I think Drumheller is probably the captain of our all-hair team here today. He's got some sick flow going on over there at third. Altman hitting seventh in the order. Holloman on deck. Check swing. That's a foul ball. Dito was on the move. He'll have to go back. Ethan Altman last weekend, and all the games run together after a while, but Altman hit that, I don't know, it was the double or the triple that cleaned off all the bases in that Sumrall win. And it always seems like somebody else comes through when they need to. No balls and 2 strikes to the Sumrall catcher. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And uncontested, Dito races down to second base. So 2 away now. And it'll be up to Landon Holloman.
Shortstop, Landon Holloman.
And preparing for this season, I was not really that familiar with Landon Holloman, but I saw this kid taking, defense and ground balls and so on. And he has got some of the most gifted hands, some of the quickest, softest hands playing defense that I have seen in a long, long time. And I have been around 127 years. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's low. He is a tremendous defender. His arm will strengthen as he gets a little bit older. It's sufficient. It's certainly sufficient now, but it'll get stronger as he gets older. Here's the 2-0. Outside now. 3-0. But admittedly, he'll say the thing that he has needed to work on is his plate approach and hitting the baseball. The 3-0 pitch is right down the tube for 3-1. But I'll tell you what, the way that this kid can potentially play shortstop, and the way that I've seen him play shortstop, if he can hit 250, he can play for me any day. 3-1 pitch, swung on. Here's a fly ball to center field. Center fielder coming in to make the catch, and that retires the side. So for the Bobcats in the top of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and there were 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Tigers 1, the Bobcats nothing. You're watching Sumrall Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Kelly Sander with producer-engineer Jeremy Thompson back with you at Indians Field in Biloxi as the South Panola Tigers come to bat here in the top of the second inning, leading Sumrall 1-0. We want to thank our webcast sponsors, Casey Long's Alpha Insurance Agency, for their sponsorship of the webcast. Real South Hunting and their support of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Rainforest Car Wash. Rainforest Car Wash, you get a free car wash with any oil change. Drive clean with locations in Hattiesburg, Petal, Laurel, McGee, and Slidell. And coming soon to d'Iberville and Loosedale. There's strike one to Michael Johnson, who you'll recall got a fresh count when Maury Boyd was rung up at trying to steal home on the delay. There's strike two now. Recommended Collision Repair, Lincoln Gatwood and his crew, and ComSouth Business Communications. They've been in the business of communicating with businesses for over 40 years. Thank you for their continued support. That's off the plate. Sibley, you can tell, was disappointed. He thought he had that one. Rayner continues to play the Tigers to go the opposite way slightly. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, just got a piece of it to stay alive. District play right around the corner, and I think Poplarville is the first district opponent for Sumrall in about a week and a half or so. 1-2 pitch, missed off the plate, 2-2 now. Very intense sun field to the left side, so Holloman, Phillips, and Barrett will have to contend with that. Everybody else is in the clear. The 2-2 pitch, again off the plate, 3-2. Jordan McCollins, the DH, is next. He's hitting for the first baseman, Aiden Williams, which that's kind of unusual. Usually the first basemen are those big sluggers, but swing and a miss. He got Johnson to climb the ladder and missed that one for a strikeout. That is Sibley's first strikeout of the game. And here is Jordan McCollins.
Designated hitter, Jordan McCollins.
Bases empty, one away here in the bottom of the second inning. Beautiful breaking ball drops in there for strike one. Bobcats have committed one error, but that one error was the man that eventually came around to score. And you hope that won't play into the figures at the end of the night, as that pitch misses away. 1-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. We've talked about the 9 different locations here that the Bash on the Beach is using to host this tournament this weekend. Sibley from the full windup, 1-2 breaking ball. So Sibley ahead in the count now, 1-2 with one out here, bases empty. In the bottom of the second inning, Sumrall trailing d'Iberville by a score of 1-0. Going from the full windup, here's the 1-2 pitch. Again, fouled into the screen, still 1-2. 3 of the 6A high schools here on the coast, including Biloxi here with Eddie Lofton at the helm. He's an Oak Grove graduate. Carrie Bridges at St. Martin is an Oak Grove graduate. And at Gulfport, Jamie McMahon is an Oak Grove graduate. That's just off the plate. So 2-2. And then other coincidences, you've got the d'Iberville Warriors right up the road who are black and gold, like the Oak Grove Warriors. And their football team is coached by Larry Dolan, who was the former defensive coordinator for the Oak Grove Warriors. The 2-2 pitch, that's off the plate. 3-2. So Sibley has taken Johnson and McCollins both full. Here's the payoff pitch. Struck him out. That one looking. So that's the second strikeout for Sibley, as he seems to have found his groove here. And here's Eli Raines, the catcher.
Catcher, Eli Raines.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and lifted out of play to the right side. The Tigers go with those one-piece socks. Those are red socks where the Bobcats have gone with those old striped stirrups. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball. He struck him out. Sibley retires the side, all via the K. The Tigers go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the top of the third here in Biloxi. It's the South Panola Tigers 1, the Sumrall Bobcats nothing. You're watching Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Sumrall will send hitters 9, 1, and 2 to the plate in the top of the third inning. Ty Little, Hayden Barrett, and Hayes Rayner. In case you missed it earlier, a programming note, the games next week against Columbia and Stringer, there will be no live stream. No live stream of Columbia or Stringer. Stringer, we had a dickens of a time getting an internet signal out of there. And I think that's Jasper County. Up north of Jones, the 1-0 pitch to Little. Here's a chopper towards second. Should be routine. It is, and Little is retired on the 4-3 putout. So one away, and that'll bring up Hayden Barrett. We talked about how Barrett is among the nation's leaders in being hit by pitches. He's among the nation's leaders in stolen bases, runs scored, on base percentage. He has just been a machine at getting on base. There's a strike. Sumrall fans thought that one was just a bit high. Dawson Griffin working on the hill for Panola. That one is definitely high. Well, you look at this South Panola outfield, and every one of those guys looks like they're in the 6'3", 6'4" range. Big dudes. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball slapped into left field, and Barrett does it again. I'll tell you what, small potatoes are hard to peel, and that guy is on base again. So there's Barrett, and here's Hayes Rayner now, who, when he was moved up to the 2-hole, Rayner had been hitting in the 8 and 9 holes early in the year and was moved up to that 2 spot and started out really well, but has now kind of gotten into a little bit of a funk here. Throw over to first, look out. Barrett was leaning because you know Panola did their homework and knows how proficient Barrett is at stealing bases. And they did have him leaning, but he got back in time. Ward in center field, actually playing Rayner to go the opposite way a little bit. Throw again over to first. Southern Miss and Louisiana Lafayette getting ready to play in about 20 minutes at Pete Taylor Park in Hattiesburg. Puts the bunt down. It's a beautiful bunt. Barrett to second base easily. Rayner is out at first, but the man in scoring position with one away. And here's Marshall Phillips, who grounded to Drumheller at third his first time up.
Third baseman, Marshall Phillips.
First pitch to him, swung on. There's a drive, but foul down the left field line. Marshall Phillips' brother Payne was on this Sumrall team a couple years ago as a pitcher. And Marshall is the baby, right, of the Phillips family. Here's the 0-1. It's outside. Barrett way off the base there at second. With 2 outs, the little ground out and on the bunt out by Rayner, Barrett will be off to the races on any ball put in play. Sumrall trailing 1-0. Little off-speed pitch there, but that's too high. Phillips ahead in the count now, 2-1. The Tigers will play the Indians a little bit later on tonight. Swung on. Here's a grounder again to third under Drumheller's glove. That'll be an E5, and that will allow Barrett to score. And we have a tie baseball game. And I'm not sure, honestly, if that Sun field got to Drumheller because he was in position and should have made that play. He just didn't get the glove down. So each team with a miscue now. And the miscues have led directly to each team's run.
Designated hitter, Levi Odom.
So here's Levi Odom now with 2 away. We'll see if Andy Davis tries to get Phillips to second base. He's a terrific runner. There's a drive into left field. That drops for a base hit. Phillips was on his way to second. Really, when you look up and down this Sumrall batting order, they're not going to crush you with home runs and things like this, but they will base hit you and double you to death, and they all run very well. So runners at first and second now, 2 away, and here's Norred. Norred flew to mid-left field his last time up. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Weather forecast calling for some rain early in the week, next Monday and Tuesday. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside. Nice job by Raines to block down on it and keep it in front. South Panola out of Batesville, Mississippi. Obviously in South Panola County. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's a chopper towards short. Throw to first, and it gets underneath the glove of the first baseman. Phillips will score, putting on the brakes. At third is Odom. Sumrall has taken the lead. Well, that will be ruled an error too, I would think, huh? So another error. Odom advances to third. And on the throw getting by the first baseman, Norrid advances to second. So runners at second and third for Sumrall with 2 outs. And here's Cade Dito, who walked and wound up being stranded at second his last time up. There's a drive, but foul down the left field line. So Dito just looking to find a hole somewhere that would plate 2 runs here. Runners don't have to worry about lining into a double play. Took something off of that one, but it was off the mark. Should Dito reach, then Ethan Altman would come to the plate. Sumrall batting in the top of the 3rd, now leading South Panola 2-1. That's off the plate, 2-1. Cade Dito, who wears jersey number 9 in football and 3 in baseball, but plays position number 9 in baseball. There's a shot, but wide of 3rd. So 2-2 now to the Sumrall right fielder. Dito hitting 6th in the order. Odom at 3rd, Norred at 2nd. 2 errors in the inning by the Tigers have netted the Bobcats 2 runs. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, little slow roller toward 3rd. Drumheller with a rifle across the diamond, and the play is made. And the Bobcats are retired, but they get 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Biloxi. It's the Bobcats 2, the Tigers 1. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Leading off the 3rd inning,
Eli Russell.
South Panola. Second baseman, number 6, Eli Russell.
He'll be followed by the 3rd baseman, Trey Drumheller, and then the top of the order, Braden Martin. Lefty versus lefty here. Phillips in on the edge of the grass at 3rd. And the first pitch is ball 1. Bobcats with their first lead of the night now, trying to protect it here in the 3rd. Swung on, there's a shot right up the middle. A leadoff single for the Tigers. Has Eli Russell there. And again, here's the captain of our all-hair team today, Trey Drumheller.
Third baseman, Trey Drumheller.
There's that pickoff play to first base, and they got him. That's exactly what we were talking about. Cross Sibley has a filthy move over to first base, and Russell, for just the slightest second, caught napping, and he's rung up at first base. So Sibley, who gave up the hit, just did himself a favor by picking off Russell. So base is empty now, 1 away, but he's behind in a count now, 2-0 to Drumheller. That's off the plate. There's a strike. Drumheller hitting 9th in the order. The line score 2, 2, and 1 for Sumrall, 1, 2, and 2 for the Tigers. Now it's 3 and 1 to Drumheller. Drumheller, we mentioned, that's a great German last name, but you don't hear that name very often. Here's the 3-1. Strike 2. A classmate of mine, actually, in elementary school, who was quite a baseball player, Mark Drumheller. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Too high. He walked him. So really, it's a good thing that Sivley picked off Russell. Otherwise, they'd have runners on first and second with nobody out. So here's Martin, who hit a soft little pop to Hayden Barrett his first time up. Throw over to first again. Hayes Rayner shaded way over toward right, and the lights begin to come on here at Indian Field. Shows bunt. Ball gets away from Altman, but not enough to advance Drumheller from first. Tigers batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing Sumrall 2-1. The 1-0 pitch swung on. This one is lifted toward center field, but shallow, and actually Holloman will fade out to make the catch. So 2 away. Runner on first, and Dawson Griffin, the pitcher, will be up here to try to help his own cause. In the TV show Dawson's Creek, wasn't his last name Griffin? I never watched it. There's a breaking ball strike. Griffin hitting number 2 in the order. Should he reach, then Maury Boyd. And I'm assuming that's short for Jamari Boyd, the center fielder. Sivley checks the runner. Swung on. Here's a little looper toward right center. That drops for a base hit. They'll go station to station here as Rayner was right on it. So runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that will bring Maury Boyd to the plate, who doubled last time. Again, a courtesy runner for Griffin. Griffin has reached twice. He's reached on an error and singled. And Andy Davis is taking a walk out to the mound. This trip to the mound sponsored by your State Farm insurance agent, Stacy Clark. See how you can maximize your premium dollars by bundling your auto, home, and life insurance at State Farm in Prentice. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Stacy Clark's 2 sons came through the Sumrall baseball program, Sully and Sam. Stacy Clark's a big fan, and she'll do a good job for you. So Coach Davis talking it over with Sivley. Odom cruised last night against the Lawrence County Cougars. And this is the last game of the week for Sumrall. Next week they're scheduled to play Columbia and Stringer, with no weekend baseball next weekend because they've got district then coming up that following week. So Boyd doubled with an RBI his first time up. And here he is again with ducks on the pond. First pitch, that's a line to right center field. That ball is down, and that's got some legs on it. It rolls all the way to the fence. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. The throw to third gets by Phillips, and into the dugout. He'll be awarded home. Boyd with a triple and then gets home on the throw. So that clears the bases. So 3 runs on the play. And he's got 4 RBIs for the Tigers. He's got them all for South Panola. He has been a thorn in the Bobcat side today. Swung on. Here's a chopper to third. Phillips fields it, throws to first, and that's that. But the damage has been done. The Tigers come up with 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors and nobody left on base. We've completed 3 now here in Biloxi. It's the Tigers 4, the Bobcats 2. Back with more in a moment. This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. I think I said that the Tigers got 4 runs. They got 3 runs in that inning on 3 hits. But it is 4-2. And Sumrall will send Altman, Holloman, and Little to the plate here to face Dawson Griffin as Sumrall bats in the top of the 4th inning now. We get near the halfway point. Altman struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Righty versus righty this matchup, and there's a foul for a strike. You know, these Panola uniforms remind me of the old Montreal Expo uniforms. You millennials will have to Google it. But there was a guy that played for the Montreal Expos named Tim Raines, who was quite a base stealer. And just when I see that name Raines in that uniform, it brings up a lot of memories. 0-1 to Altman. Leadoff hitter for the Cats here in the 4th. Swung on. This is a high pop. Shallow right field. Coming in to make the catch and waving everybody off is the right fielder Blockman for out number 1. And that'll bring up Landon Holloman, who flew to center field his first time up.
Shortstop, Landon Holloman.
So, man, rather because of that Adidas tournament last weekend, kind of unusual that Sumrall will have this weekend, this Saturday with no baseball, and then next Saturday with no baseball. But then again, what has been usual at all about this spring? You got college football being played this spring. You got an abbreviated baseball schedule. You still have the junior colleges playing basketball. 1-0 pitch, chopper to third. Drumheller's got it. Gets the hair out of his eyes and throws to first for another put out. I'm kidding about Drumheller. Like I said, I wish I had hair like that. And he's made every single play to him tonight. 2 up and 2 down, and here's Little, who grounded to second base his first time.
Second baseman, Little.
And there's a fly towards center. And what a play by Ward, flying to his left and snagging that one on the run. So the Bobcats go rather quietly in the top of the fourth inning and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's South Panola 4, Sumrall 2. Back in a moment. Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's. Kelly Sander with Jeremy Thompson back at Indian Field in Biloxi, where Sumrall and South Panola doing battle here. Michael Johnson, Jordan McCollins, and Eli Raines, the scheduled hitters for South Panola here in the bottom of the fourth. The Tigers lead the Bobcats 4-2. Johnson struck out swinging his first time up. That was part of a 3-strikeout second inning.
Left fielder number 23, Michael Johnson.
Raymond and Truvy McRaney are watching from Hattiesburg tonight. Go Bobcats, go. Breaking ball, low for ball one. And another thank you from Raymond and Truvy. We're glad to be your eyes and ears and to do these games for you. 1-0 pitch is low. But again, we couldn't do them if the sponsors didn't make it possible. So if you get a chance and have need for their goods and services, we hope that you will patronize them and thank them for making these games possible. 2-0 pitch is right down position A for strike one. Johnson, part of that terrific outfield for South Panola. 2-1 pitch, that one slapped foul to the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter. The line score 4-4-2 for Panola, 2-2-1, exactly halved across the top part of the board for the Rollcats. 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2. Johnson hitting 5th in the order for Coach Jake Mills. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul tip. Stays alive. Looking forward to a great district campaign this year against Poplarville and Purvis, Greene County. Here's the 3-2. Again, a foul out of play. Trying to think who else. Germ. We got any other two? Is it Stone in there? I know those 3. We'll have to. And another foul ball out of play. Forest County AHS. So Levi Odom will get to play against some of his old teammates. Here's the payoff pitch again. Breaking ball, just missed. And Johnson races down to first base. So he's there with a leadoff walk, and here's Jordan McCollins, who struck out looking his first time up.
Designated hitter, Jordan McCollins.
Throw back to first base. Just about every game that Sibley has thrown, he's picked off at least one at first base. Tonight, no exception. And now Barrett is kind of the lone ranger out there in left field as they've shaded. There's the throw again over to first. They've got Dito shaded toward the line in right. Rayner over toward right. And Barrett all alone out there in left center. First pitch coming to McCollins. Tries the bunt, but just nicked it back to the screen. 0-1. When it comes to sports on the coast, of course, basketball for a long time, Gulfport was kind of the king of the hill with 0-1 is the count on the throw. And I'm thinking of Chris Jackson played at Gulfport, but the longtime coach Burt Jenkins had been there for forever. That's a push bunt. Catch is made by Norrid, tries to go back and double up Johnson, but could not. So McCollins is out on the line out. Actually, I think Burt Jenkins' daughter, Debbie Dabbs, was a teacher in the Lamar County school system at Oak Grove for a long time. Again, throw to first. And what Sivley is doing now is one of the rules that Major League Baseball is toying with now. They're only going to allow, in the minor leagues to see how it works, a maximum of 2 pickoffs. But see, the thing about that is that if they throw over the second time and then they know that you can't throw it again, what's stopping you from getting a 15-foot lead over there? The 1-0 pitch. There's a shot off the glove, fielded by Holloman. Look at that play by Landon Holloman. Did I tell you that kid could play shortstop? What a play up the middle. Landon Holloman with a brilliant play. 6-6-3 on the double play, and the Tigers are done in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the 5th inning. It's the Tigers 4, the Bobcats 2. Back in a moment. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. Summerall's got at least 3 more at-bats. Paw Harlan and Granny Davis, Coach Andy Davis's grandparents from Taylorsville, are watching tonight. They're big Bobcat fans and, of course, big Andy Davis fans. And we're glad to have them along. We've got to be the top-rated show in Smith County. Of course, we were in Scuba last week, outpolling Temptation Island. So here's Hayden Barrett now. He has grounded to third, singled, and scored. He scores almost every time he gets on base. That's low and away, ball 1. So the Bobcats need some base runners here. Trailing 4-2. Still plenty of time. That's low, 2-0 now. But what a play by Holloman. It was deflected off of Sivley's glove, and Holloman had to react to that deflection. He did, made the play, and never missed a step in going to the bag, dragged that foot, threw it onto first, and beat the runner by probably 8 feet. 2-1 the count to Barrett. Swung on. There's a ball that's foul. They're texting in from Melby, say it's time to wake up the bats here. But you know, this Bobcat team, the one thing you've known about them so far that you've learned is they do seemingly just what it takes to win and at the right time. So we'll see. Playing a good 6A program here. Trailing right now 4-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Wow, just missed. 3-2. If Barrett gets on base, he might as well be at third, the way that he steals bases. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on. This is a slapper toward third. Drumheller's got it, and right on the money again. Drumheller's got 6 putouts tonight over at third base. 2 of them against Barrett. 1 away, and here comes Hayes Rayner. The Ditos have checked in tonight. They're telling the Bobcats to work hard, and they second that proposal that the bats get going here. Rayner drags that ball wide of first that Coach Steve Cooley puts back into play. Nothing in 1 to the Sumrall center fielder. Swung on. This one is popped up. I don't know if it'll get out of play. It's over by the Sumrall dugout, and it will get out of play. Drumheller came over to give it a look, but knew that he would run out of space. So Rayner is looking at an 0-2 count here. He struck out in the first and put down a sacrifice bunt in the third. So he's officially 0 for 1. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2. He'll be followed by Marshall Phillips. Both starting pitchers are still in there. Dawson Griffin and Cross Sibley. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled it away, staying alive here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Again, got a piece of it. Hayes Rayner. From the left side. Getting to see that ball a little bit longer. Here he ropes one out toward right field, and that ball is caught. Blockman was right there, moving to his left about 5 steps to glove that one. 2 up and 2 down, and it'll be up to Marshall Phillips if the Bobcats are to have a base runner here in the 5th. We want to thank Java Mose for their support of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. They've got a new location in Poplarville right across from the Pearl River campus on Old 11. Man, that new location stays busy. And you don't even have to get out of your car. 1-0 is the count to Phillips. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's low, 2-0. I went by Java Mose the other day, and they said, you know, what do you want? And I said, I just want like a cup of black coffee. They looked at me like I was a Martian or something. Like, what do you call it? It's just a cup of coffee. That's low, 3-0. Because all the other coffee things have these fancy names, you know. Here's the 3-0 pitch. A 4-pitch walk to Marshall Phillips. So let's see what Levi Odom can do. He's been hit by a pitch, was stranded at third, and then he singled. And again was stranded at third. The Bobcats won fairly easily last night against Lawrence County, but they left a ton of runners on base. And if I'm not mistaken, they left the bases loaded twice in a 10-run rule victory. Phillips back to the bag. So Odom has been on twice. Should he reach, then Norred would come to the plate. So this is the meat of the Sumrall order here. First pitch to Odom is fouled into the screen. South Panola will take a little break in between games and then play the Biloxi Indians. And the Cats will head back to Lamar County. Here's the 0-1. Runner going. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Phillips is there and in scoring position. Raines couldn't get it there. And the count is 1-1 to Odom. And Phillips runs so well. We mentioned every guy on this Sumrall team really motors. So, and especially with 2 outs, he would easily score on a base hit. And would cut that lead by a run. Breaking ball drops in there. Miss Anita Sumrall. She's watching the Lady Cats play softball in Perry County tonight. She's ready for the Bobcats to start hitting the baseball. 1-2 pitch. There's Drumheller again. And another laser throw over to first base. Really the only miscue that Drumheller had was that one that got under his glove. But every time he's fielded it, the throw was right on the money over to first base. So the Bobcats are done in the 5th. No runs on no hits. There were no errors, but there was 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And we do have a new pitcher for Sumrall. Andrew Knight will take the hill. When we return, you're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Cross Sibley's night is done. So Sibley gave up 4 runs. 3 were earned. And now Andrew Knight takes over here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Andrew's well rested, so he's ready to go, and he will face hitters 8, 9, and 1 for the Tigers. Russell, Drumheller, and Martin. Tigers leading it 4-2.
Leading off the 5th inning for South Panola, second baseman number 6, Eli Russell.
Let's see what Russell's been up to. He singled his first time up, and he got picked off by Sibley on that throw over to first base. And first pitch strike from Andrew Knight. Knight tends to work very quickly. That pitch is inside, 1-1. The Bobcats, of course, playing last night at Jones, where his dad Larry is the pitching coach. And I kind of jokingly said, is there any hope for Andrew, Coach Knight? And he said, none. Jokingly, of course. And I said, do you think you can take him, Andrew? And he said, sure, any any day of the week. 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. How about that? 1 away here in the 5th, and here comes Trey Drumheller. Drumheller walked and scored in that 3-run 3rd inning. And that's been the difference in the ball game, is that 3rd inning they had. There's a strike. There's strike two. Knight has just been pounding the strike zone. Knight going from the stretch with the bases empty. And tried to get Drumheller hitting ninth in the order to maybe chase one just out of the zone. Here's the 1-2. Took something off of it. Tried to get the spinner in there past him. So Knight still ahead, 1-2, with the bases empty and one out. Sumrall trailing 4-2. They've only got two more at bats to get it done. That one missed high. The 2-2 swung on, kind of off the fist and pushed it off to the right side. The Tigers got one in the first. They scored after that error put Griffin on base, and then they got a bulk of their runs in the third. Breaking ball, swing and a miss at the bender outside. So Knight is 2 for 2. This Sumrall team's so deep in pitching. And I'm not talking throwers, I'm talking pitchers. They probably go about 7 deep. And for a 4A team to sport that many pitchers, that is remarkable. So Martin has flown to left and popped to short. First pitch there is a strike. Andrew Knight working so quickly that he's either got a date later tonight or he's afraid the buffet line is going to get too long at one of the casino buffets down here. Here's the 0-1. Look out. Breaking ball missed inside. No wind really to speak of. It has not been a factor. And both pitchers have been in enough control that the long ball hasn't been a problem either. Here's a chopper to second. That's gobbled up and thrown to first. And the Tigers go quietly in the fifth in order. Up and down, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the sixth inning. It's still the Tigers 4. The Bobcats 2. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Nan's. Dawson Griffin still on the hill, and why the heck not? He's pitching great. He has held the Bobcats to 2 measly hits, a single by Odom and a single by Barrett. That's been it.
Leading off the sixth inning for Sumrall, first baseman number 12, Hayden Norrie.
And they were both in the third inning. First pitch to Norrid here in the sixth inning is a strike. Norrid has flown to left and reached on an error. He is 0 for 2. Bobcats have got to get working here now in the 6th. Breaking ball is high. 1-1. Norred, Dito, and Altman are the scheduled hitters here. They play Norred to pull here slightly. But these outfielders for Panola can cover a lot of ground toward the middle of the infield, and that will go as a hit. Because realistically, even had Martin gotten to that ball, they probably were not going to throw out Norred. So there's a single and a base runner for the Bobcats here in the 6th. And here's Dito, who has walked and grounded to 3rd. So Norred will come out, and Liam Munn will come in to run for him. Liam Munn, a defensive back and receiver on the football team.
Entering the first base, number 6, Liam Munn.
Munn yet another speed merchant for this Sumrall team. And here's Dito. Breaking ball, that 12-6 bender dropped right in there for strike 1. Sumrall trailing 4-2, but running out of outs. They've got the 6th and the 7th to go here. And Griffin has been large and in charge. Again, giving up now 3 singles. The Bobcat dugout coming to life. Throw again to first, look out, and Munn is out. So Dawson Griffin showing a good pickoff move. Munn was leaning. Griffin saw him leaning just a little bit and threw a dart to first base, and Munn is out. So here's Dito now, who evens up the count at 1-1. Sumrall batting in the top of the 6th. 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Panola. There's a strike. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Sumrall. And a 1-2 count to K. Dito, hitting 6th in the order. The pitchers have been terrific on both sides. The 1-2 pitch, here's a pop-up. I mean a rainmaker to the infield. Right side, and gloved easily on the right side of the infield by the second baseman Eli Russell, and there's 2 away. Base is empty, and here's Ethan. Check that. We've got a pinch hitter here. Altman has been lifted. And here's Grant Robbins. G2. G got a hit last night. And here's a drive toward left field, but playable. Being measured, coming in, not deep. First pitch swinging, and Robbins is retired. So the Bobcats are down to 3 outs as they are retired in order in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still the South Panola Tigers 4. Sumrall Bobcats 2. This is Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. The Bobcats, as it turned out, go in order, but that was only because of the pickoff at first base. Norred is credited with the single. So now Andrew Knight will have to face some pretty significant hitters for the Tigers here, 2, 3, and 4. Griffin, Boyd, and Blockman. And Griffin and Boyd have scored 3 of the 4 runs. And here's Griffin, who reached on an error in the first. He scored that time. He singled in the third and scored that time. So the Bobcats have not been able to keep this guy off base.
For South Panola, pitcher number 5, Dawson Griffin.
But Maury Boyd on deck has been the man of the hour. He has been sensational tonight at the plate. There's a swing and a miss, as Andrew Knight has been on fire since coming in to relieve Cross Sibley. Knight could only win this game. He could not lose it. Here's a chopper toward third. Phillips has got it. And an easy throw to first for out number 1. That's the first time they've retired Dawson Griffin tonight. And this is the guy that they have not been able to get out. Maury Boyd, short for Amari.
Center fielder Maury Boyd.
But when you think about it, it's only shortening it by 1 letter. Right? Amarian. Okay, that makes sense. And there he goes again, a base hit to left field. Boyd has been on all 3 times, a double, a walk, and there's a single. And you see why he's batting third in the order. Great player. And here's John Blockman now. He has grounded to second and grounded to third. That is the first hit that Knight has surrendered. One out here in the bottom of the 6th, throw over to first. And Boyd's such a good runner that there's really no need for him to really even get that big of a lead. He's that fast. Sumrall outfield, shading him toward right field. The first pitch is outside. With that type of a runner, if the pitcher's going to miss, it's not a bad place to miss outside because that would give Altman clearance to be able to make a throw. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Missed high. 2-0. Looking ahead to the last chance, 7th for Sumrall. Altman, Holloman, and Little. 7, 8, and 9. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went up the ladder to try to get that one and missed it. Michael Johnson on deck for the Tigers. Earlier today, they had some baseball here. And again, 9 different locations. The high schools here along the coast. The Bash at the Beach. Battle at the Beach. Thank you for that correction. Knight comes set. The 2-1 pitch. That's outside. The Bash at the Beach comes later, as I'm a guest of the Chi Omegas. completely different event, but Knight checks the runner at first. Here's the 3-1. Swung on. There's a shot to first. Norwood makes the force at first, where there's always a first, or a force rather. So 3 unassisted for 2 outs. And Boyd advances to second. So he's there with 2 away. And Michael Johnson comes to bat now.
Left fielder Michael Johnson.
So Boyd will move on contact with 2 outs. The first pitch from Knight, the pickoff play was on at second. Youngsters listening to this, on that play at first base, whatever direction the ball takes you, if you're the first baseman, if that ball is taking you towards second, field the ball and throw to second. If the ball is taking you toward first, then go to the bag. Beautiful curveball drops in there for strike 1. But once you touch the bag at first, that lifts the force at second, and you must tag the runner at second base. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming up from Knight. Here's the 0-1. That pitch is high. I think as kids come up now, as they're younger and younger and don't study the game of baseball, I don't think they understand about necessarily where force plays are, and that if you do step on the bag in that situation at first, that the force is lifted at second, and that you must tag the runner. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball right back to Knight, up through the middle. Little makes the fielding play. Now they come to the plate. It's a bad throw by Little. Boyd scores, and Johnson gets all the way down to second base. So I think that's probably going to be a hit and an error. Johnson awarded with a hit and then a throwing error on Little. Scoring Boyd. It is a hit. And an error.
Designated hitter, Jordan McCollins.
So on that error, Johnson advances to second, and it is now a 5-2 ball game, and that's going to make work even more difficult for the Bobcats in the top of the 7th inning. As Jordan McCollins digs in, he struck out in the 2nd inning looking, and he lined out to first base in the 4th. So each team's with a couple of errors here. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Here's a chopper toward third. Phillips tries to short hop it. Cannot handle it, and there's error number 3. So runners at the corners. Boy, you kind of saw that one coming. When he came in to get that short hop, that is a tough play to make. And here's Eli Raines now, the catcher. He has struck out and grounded into that double play that Landon Holloman pulled the rabbit out of the hat. First pitch to him, breaking ball, and a beautiful pitch in there. Andrew Knight has really developed that bender. And there's kind of those slurve type breaking balls, and then those 12-6ers. So you've got Johnson at third, McCollins at first with 2 outs. Throw to first. Back in time. Here's the 0-1. Off the fist and into the screen now. Knight ahead in the count, 0-2. Should Raines find a way to get on, then Eli Russell would come up. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Other schools hosting the battle at the beach include West Harrison, d'Iberville, St. Martin, Gulfport, Ocean Springs, all of them down here. Runner going at first. That is a foul ball. Or did it hit the batter? No. It was a foul ball. That was one of those freak plays where the pitch was way inside. The hitter trying to avoid getting hit, but the ball hit the bat. So it goes as a foul ball. 0-2 the count to Eli Raines. Checking the Java Mo's scoreboard. Southern Miss leading Louisiana Lafayette 2-1 in the top of the 2nd at Pete Taylor Park. That pitch is outside. No play on McCollins advancing to second base. So a base hit here now would score 2 more. So a big at-bat here for the Panola Tiger catcher. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, too high. It was. I know the Sumrall fans wanted that call, but it was up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The wind has never been a factor. Very pleasant night here. 2-2 again. And fouled off right behind home plate. as we're now firmly into baseball season. One of the sports reporters was talking earlier this week that when you looked at the basketball titles this year, it was almost exclusively the teams from the north. That ball gets away. They go to the tag the runner now, and that'll work. So it goes as a strikeout for Raines, and that retires the side. But the Tigers do come up with 1 run on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 1 man left on base. So we go to the top of the 7th inning, the last chance 7th for the Bobcats. It's the Tigers 5, the Bobcats 2. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So the Bobcats have got to get 3 to keep this thing going. We want to thank our sponsors again, ComSouth, for their support. ComSouth in the business of communicating with businesses for over 40 years. I want to thank ComSouth on the Highway 42 bypass. The Alpha Insurance Agency of Casey Long. Thank Alpha Insurance. Real South Hunting for their support. Rainforest Car Wash as we head into pollen season. Don't forget, you get a free car wash with any oil change. Make sure that you drive clean. Stop into any of the Rainforest Car Wash locations. And Recommended Auto Collision Repair. So Jaron Gore now comes in to pinch hit for Landon Holloman as the Bobcats look for runners here. Dawson Griffin looking for the complete game win as that pitch is low to Gore, 2-0. Gore, another one of those pitchers. The pitching list for Sumrall just goes on and on. Here's the 2-0. That's in the zone. So 2-1. Ty Little on deck. Here's foul at the plate. Now, see, I've talked about this before. 110 years ago, when I played Little League, if it bounced off a home plate and into fair territory, you run. That was a fair ball, but not anymore. Yeah, if it went off his foot, now that's a different deal. The 2-2 pitch to Gore. Swung on. This was a high drive to right field. Coming into foul territory and out of play. Look out. Blockman runs into that fence at a full head of steam. And as big and as strong as those Panola guys are, they might have to change the fence over there. Got to give him an A for effort. The count stays 2-2 to Jaron Gore. The Bobcats down to their last 3 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Eight, 9, and 1 in the Bobcat order here in the 7th. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a nasty breaking ball. Gore down on strikes for 1 away, and here's Ty Little, who has grounded to second and lined to center field. Base is empty, 1 away. First pitch to him is right down Broadway. Here's the 0-1. Swung on. There's a little looper right to second base. 2 away, and the Bobcats are now down to their last out. But Hayden Barrett is probably the guy you want up there because statistically he's the guy that gets out the least.
Left fielder, Hayden Barrett.
He has grounded out to Drumheller twice at third tonight, but also has a single and a run scored. First pitch to him is breaking ball low. If this score holds, Sibley would take the loss. And Griffin, of course, would get the win. They're playing him to pull slightly here. Bases empty, 2 outs in the 7th. There's a strike. 1-1 to Hayden Barrett. Hayes Rayner hopes that he'll get another at bat. That, of course, will be up to Barrett. The 1-1 pitch, breaking balls high and inside. A programming note, again, the Columbia and Stringer games next week, no live stream of those games. You can follow Sumrall Athletics on all of the social media channels. Will remind you of that. But whether you're in Melby on a swing or wherever you're watching the game from in Hattiesburg, no live stream of the Sumrall Columbia or Sumrall Stringer games next week. 3-1 the count to Barrett. Too low, and Barrett is on again. And here's Rayner. And Rayner is due. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. He hit it well last time, but Blockman tracked it down in right field. Throw over to first. And with the Bobcats being down 3 runs, they will take no extra chances on the bases. They need base runners. And Dawson Griffin has shown that he has a pretty good move to first base himself as he picked off Liam Munn last inning. First pitch to Rayner. That's there for strike 1. They're playing Rayner to pull. The 0-1. Runner going. Throw to second. Is into right field, but Barrett will hold his position. It's another stolen base. And I think Barrett was like in the top 5 in stolen bases in the country coming into this game. The 1-1 pitch. That's too high. 2-1. Marshall Phillips, who has long ball ability, is on deck rather. So if Rayner can reach somehow, some way, Phillips would represent the tying run. But Griffin has been terrific. He has only allowed 3 singles tonight. The 2-1 to Rayner. Inside, 3-1. And as far as walks go, he's only walked 1 person, and that were 2 people rather, Barrett and Phillips. There's a strike. So now the count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Barrett will not be running because he's not forced. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's a little looper over the shortstop into left field. Barrett rounds third. He will score. Here come the Bobcats. It's a 5-3 ball game. Hayes Rayner with a 2-out single and an RBI. Makes it 5-3, and here's that scenario. Phillips is the tying run. He comes to the plate. Timeout on the field as they talk it over. They know that Phillips has power, and Odom right behind him as well. Steve Cooley will come talk to his hitters, as will Andy Davis. This trip to the mound, sponsored by your State Farm insurance agent, Stacy Clark in Prentice. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and find out how you can save premium dollars by bundling your auto, home, and life insurance. Thanks to Stacy Clark for her continued support of Sumrall Athletics, even though her sons Sam and Sully have graduated through the Sumrall program.
Third baseman, Marshall Phillips.
So here's Marshall Phillips. They're not even going to hold Rayner. Throw to second base is way off the mark, but Rayner will hold at second. Again, they've only got one out to play with here. And really, Rayner is moot. It's Phillips that has to get on base somehow. Southern Miss now leading Louisiana Monroe 7-1. What has gotten into the Eagles? Here's the 1-0. There's a strike. Louisiana Monroe came into that game allowing other teams to hit 211, and Southern was only hitting 202 coming into the series. So maybe they've snapped out of it, at least for tonight. The 1-1 pitch to Phillips. Breaking ball, strike two. So here we go. Bobcats down to their last strike. Phillips against Griffin. You got two of the studs for each of these teams battling here. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. Phillips would not go fish. And it was outside. Rayner will move on contact, but again, he's not as important as Phillips is. Phillips has got to get on base. How big is that run now that Panola scored in the bottom of the sixth? The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball. Here's a drive to center field, but being tracked to his left, ball is caught, and that is the ball game. Phillips gave it a ride, but it kind of died out there at about the 360 mark, and South Panola has defeated Sumrall by a score of 5-3. The line score for the Tigers, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. For the Bobcats, 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. Cross Sibley takes the loss for the Sumrall Bobcats. Again, no games this weekend for Sumrall, and the regularly scheduled games next week against Columbia and Stringer. There will be no live stream of those games. Make sure that you follow the Bobcats on social media at Sumrall Athletics. For producer-director Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sanner. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you for relying on us to be your eyes and ears. We enjoy bringing you these games. Until we see you again, you've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's.